guess maybe that's something.
Well, the reason that I think it even made our list of topics is because I fondly think of, like, this is one of those things that I got into because my dad got me into it. So you will always have a sentimental attachment to those things that your dad introduced you to. So my dad had this beautiful gold leaf green leather copy of The Hobbit. So he was such a big fan that he like invested in a really good book, like a beautifully bound book, like big fan. And you remember there was a time when, like, there were certain books that you wanted just like trophies, you want like a beautiful version of this book. And this book
I have a couple books like that, but let's keep rolling with the Tolkien.
Yeah. And this book was just beautiful. It had illustrations and gold leaf and bound leather. And I loved The Hobbit. Probably read that book when I was 10 or 11 multiple times.
Did you read that first before you read the
Oh God, yes.
Yeah. I went the other way. So, short story related to all of the Tolkien works, but if you've been paying attention on the podcast, 6 people, you would know that I was an English teacher back in the late 90s. And sort of the unwritten rule to be an English teacher, to be a card-carrying member of English teachers everywhere, especially in public school, you have to have read To Kill a Mockingbird. And I hadn't read it. I got certified. I got a real job. And like a lot of other teachers, like, make references to Kill a Mockingbird. And, people would be talking to me about it. Well, they'd be saying stuff like, oh, well, we're going to cover To Kill a Mockingbird first. And I would be like, well, naturally, the book that, we've all read. Sure. So like, the problem is like, as with everything else, when it comes to stuff like that, for me, it's like, I don't like being a fraud. I don't like faking it. And the guilt just fucking ate away at me. And what's weird about it is it's not that long a book.
No,
you can read it like in a weekend, So I finally ended up reading it. I felt better about things. Now I felt like I was like part of the club, and same exact sort of situation with Tolkien, right? Because I am kind of a bookish nerd. I like to consider myself well-read. And that was one of the big missing gaping holes, because as far as like quote unquote nerd culture, alpha nerd status means that you have read Tolkien. You've read it. So I didn't read it until like my late 30s.
Oh, wow.
So within the last like decade, I would, same kind of thing ate away. I mean, people would make, references to Frodo, and I would nod along and smile. Yeah, right. Frodo, you walked a lot, right? I think that guy. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting all 3 books, and I just sat down one week. I had like a staycation, and I just read all 3 books all the way through, not in one sitting necessarily, but I just read them all in like a week and a half one Christmas. I just banged that out, and I felt better about it. Loved it. Thought it was fucking awesome. And this is after the Peter Jackson movies, but it was far enough away time-wise to where I had my own picture in my head about what things should look like. So I didn't go by what Peter Jackson had done per se, except for Aragorn.
Like that. That's definitely.
I just kept picturing that.
Yeah.
That in my head, but yeah. And then I just read The Hobbit like 2 years ago, man. I'm sorry.
No, it's nothing to apologize for.